This is it, the final 9 of the Green Mountain Championship presented by Discraft, part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We are your 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.
Honk.
Happy to call the shots out here. We are watching Kristin Tattar taking a 3-stroke lead after being tied initially with Henna Blomroos going into this final round. It's a little bit weird conditions. It's a little rainy, but it's warm. There's some wind that's coming up. Ohn Scoggins was making a bit of a push, but just took a quadruple bogey. She's still pretty solidly in third. Missy Gannon 3 strokes back of her. Valerie Mandujano from the chase card making a push. Let's see what happens.
Yep. These back 9 holes are very challenging, but this is a pretty easy one that you feel like you want to get.
Except for that right side OB.
Yeah, that right side OB does come in close. It's also a sloped green, so you can get a roll away, but this is just well within reach distance-wise, and it's pretty wide open. You can throw a forehand, you can throw a backhand turnover with the slow-speed disc. You can throw a straight shot, whatever you want.
A roller, really.
You can do whatever you want here. 315 feet.
I do think the forehand is the better play, but also maybe just a hair riskier because there's a more inbounds area for the backhand on the left side. Missy just lacing the last 2 drives. Kristin showing us the forehand. I like the width on this. Nice and safe the whole way. And even better than Missy. Henna with a star invader. Good angle, but it's, I think it turned a little earlier than she wanted, and there's that right side OB. That'll be a circle 2 look to save par. Ohn with one of the worst holes, honestly, I've ever seen her play. I know that sounds terrible, but no, you don't usually see her make back-to-back mistakes like that.
Yeah.
But look at her just come in strong, get inside the circle for a birdie look. Henna with a circle's edge putt for a par save. Boom.
Whoa.
Big ol' putt.
From downtown.
And that's after missing a couple of short ones 2 holes ago. That was awesome. Let's see it again. Needs a lot of power and height. That's very uphill. Dead center.
Yeah, I love seeing Henna's putting look nice and straight and like confident. It's so awesome. Capitalize on some of these good tee shots. Ohn with a bit of a tester here. Outside the circle, definite death putt towards out of bounds, downhill.
She's got it. Bet you $5. Say yes.
And look at that recovery. That's the opposite of going on tilt. Outside the circle, birdie.
Missy for back-to-back birdies. Yeah. Starting out the front or the back 9 strong. See if Kristin can round it out. Great birdie. Still taking a stroke on Henna with the OB. 4-stroke difference. Hole 11 is a par 4. It's 532 feet. It's a backhand drive typically, though you never know what Ohn is going to do. I would say the left side is a little bit better to land on because then it opens up the angle for a sidearm approach. You can do a backhand, but it's just tougher. There's a ton of trees down here, so once you get your sidearm over this wall, you're kind of just hoping you hit one of these gaps and get a putt. And then the out of bounds wraps super close. So you have to be careful on the putting green and even just with your second approach shot.
Yeah, ground play. You don't want to come in super fast with your second shot.
The most common error is pushing too far to the right because you just want to make sure to avoid the left side OB. That's center cut in a great spot for Missy. Kristin with a drive. Pretty similar positioning. Ohn getting a little more on that left side. Looks like it's safe and she'll have a bit of a better angle, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
And that's just so high risk. Oh my god.
Oh, safe.
So high risk. Like such a good angle control. She got it to flip up the perfect amount.
Did you see Zoe giving her some fist bumps?
Yeah.
Yes. She's so far up there. That's wild.
Unbelievable.
She's almost, I mean, she's got to be at least 50, if not closer to 75 feet farther than everyone else. I'm getting just inside the circle.
And like, it doesn't seem like Henna's doing it as like a flex. Like that's just how her game is.
Totally.
That's the distance that she naturally wants to throw. Mm-hmm. So impressive.
Kristin gets inside the circle as well. Great forehand shot. Missy showing us the backhand. I feel like the hardest part about this is the speed control going into the green. Like that
looks great.
It does, but I think it's good to hit something because that can find OB, I think, a little bit easier than the forehand. Look at this. She's like...
She's looking down the gap.
She's almost pin high. That's wild. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about.
Dang.
She's really close for her par, but that is a bummer not to get rewarded for an insanely good drive. Oh. Missy a little short on her birdie look.
A little bit of a death putt. It's more downhill than it looks on the camera angle. A little bit uphill.
Good putt. Back-to-back par saves from going out of bounds for Henna. Yeah,
back-to-back birdies. Bouncing right back. Getting on track.
Missy with a good comebacker for her par. It's kind of interesting. The field has gotten so competitive that we haven't seen this big of gaps, I feel like, in a lot of the events.
Yep. Hole 12. You want to throw about 250 feet. 300 is almost going to be pushing that OB line a little bit more than comfort. You want to be on the left side to open up the second shot, but from the landing zone before the out of bounds, it's still about 400 and 15, maybe 430 feet to the basket.
Yeah, depending on where you land, for sure.
Yeah, it's a crush, and it does pinch. The out of bounds does pinch around behind the basket, so you can't be too hyper aggressive. The big mistake here, though, is not being too far right on your tee shot, because it makes that second shot really difficult to even just land safe on the other side.
Yeah, the OB is exactly at 320, so if you throw exactly to the OB, you can split it up 320, 320, but most people are going to land here, and that's closer to that 400-foot mark. Great shot, though. Probably 375 from there. Missy, in round 2, pushed this OB line as far as you possibly could.
Wow. Again today. Right at the bridge. It's a perfect landing spot.
She has that shot dialed.
Kristin being a lot more aggressive in this round than she was the first round as well. She'll have a wide open second shot.
Yeah, some great drives here. Henna trying to go across the OB. I'm just kidding. I've never seen anyone try that. She probably could, but super unnecessary risk. Henna putting way more of a hyzer angle on it. And she checks up in bounds, but I think her footing might be kind of weird.
Yeah, she's going to be pinched up against the hill on the side.
Oh, not quite getting left enough to comfortably throw the backhand, so she's just going to go sidearm. Maybe get close enough for a super long putt.
I believe there was no birdies on hole 12 in round 2.
I think you're right. Okay, so Henna's footing is actually fine, which is cool.
Oh, she's going a little down and flatten out. Yeah.
Just a hint awkward.
Yeah.
But it kind of always is on this. I don't even want to call it approach shot on your second drive.
Kristin has room to really crush on this if she wants to. And she does, but it turns over, unfortunately.
Is that in?
No way.
Oh, lucky.
That is a very good break.
And I think that's just, again, that slight downhill run up kind of messing with her. She just released a little late. See if Missy can get this close enough for a birdie putt. Come on.
Almost the exact same problem.
Oh, she doesn't get the love.
Man, that went out of bounds at the very end of the flight, too.
She'll have a circle, too. Look to save par. I feel like that's the 18th time I've said that.
Very straightforward approach from Ohn for her par.
And a little too far to call this a putt. Lays up nicely. Kristin gonna capitalize on the fortunate break and just park it for her par. Ugh, dang. That's at, what, 55 probably?
Yeah, it's further than you want. Oh, such a good line, just a little bit low.
Ohn with a really strong start to her back nine.
Missy unfortunately carding another bogey.
Yeah, I believe she's what, plus
5?
3?
3?
Because she got the 2 birdies. Let's see. Oh, she's plus 5. Dang it, math.
And Valerie Mandujano still keeping it under par, along with Kristin Tattar, the only, Natalie Ryan as well, the only ones under par in the top 10. Everyone else just kind of struggling to stay around even. And we move on to hole 13.
Yeah, we take another long walk here, and then hole 13 is a par 3, 375. It plays straight to this hillside and then suddenly dips downhill. So that telephone pole is a pretty good marker of it's pretty close to pin high. You want to throw kind of right at it and then try to fade into this main gap. You see a lot of people fade a little too early and deal with the left side trees, which is the better mistake than pulling it to the right, which is out of bounds. That looks good. Hopefully it fades into the gap and not before it.
It's a little weird because you do have to throw a little bit nose up to follow the line of this hill, but you want it to be flatter or more nose down once it crests the hill. So it's a tough shot here. Definitely favors someone that can throw more of a flex line with a little bit of a distance shot.
Or just a perfectly straight, super powerful shot.
Yep.
Into the circle. Wow. That shot's so much harder than she made it look.
Absolutely parked.
Is Henna gonna do it too? Oh,
what?
Wow.
The one guardian tree.
Yeah, she's really kind of cheated, but I don't know how much of a putt she'll have for her birdie. It was a good shot though. That super early release.
And a weird kick, it looks like, too, at the end.
Yeah, that's earlier left than you usually see. Look at all these trees in the way. Missy gonna take this big gap on the right and try to maybe skip something, or?
I hope probably an overstable mid.
Yeah, good effort.
Ohn just laying this one up. Not a real great way to get there. Henna having to straddle way out wide after catching that guardian tree.
Also not a great way to get there. Look at this tree in her way.
And she's...
What? Oh, that is amazing. What a putt.
Wow.
That was so good. Oh, yeah. Gotta see that one again. Look at this. That's so much power from a knee and hyzer around that tree. Wow.
Yes, man.
You know, little fist bump.
She's making some sweet putts today. Some highlights.
Missy gonna take another bogey there.
And Kristin for bird. Pedal to the metal. Like we have seen her for the last, what, 2 months?
Yeah. It just kind of feels like forever. Ohn with a tap-in par.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time of my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My God up on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. Ballin' can't beat me up 'cause I'm back in my zone now.
Try not to overthink your form when you're competing. During the tournament, you have to stay in the moment. It's easy to lose the moment when you're overanalyzing things. But playing disc golf is all about intuition. You have to play with feeling. Next time you're on the tee pad, take a deep breath, take in your surroundings. Visualize your line and trust in all the work that you've put in. Mastering your focus is why this game is so special. It's what keeps us coming back for more.
Hole 14, slightly uphill, so it's a little bit more than the 279 listed on the bottom. It's also a little bit scary because all these trees are kind of guardian trees that could very easily bumper you into a roll away towards out of bounds. Sometimes you can get up to this green and you're not guaranteed a putt. It's what makes this hole as challenging as it is at under 300 feet.
It's almost a must get. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Just, you don't see a lot of under 300s, but it is definitely tough. Kristin, I think she's inside the circle, or at least circle's edge.
This putt is the second easiest hole of the day.
Wow. Henna throwing rock 3 there.
Love the straight shot.
So much power to throw a mid-range like that. Whereas Kristin's throwing a rive, which is a 13 speed.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Ohn kind of putting it into the side of the hill. That's where you risk the rollaways over there, but it checks up nicely.
The right side definitely has more gaps to putt through than the left side, so hopefully she has something.
Missy hanging it out wide, and look at that.
Yeah, girl.
Ohn from just outside the circle for birdie. Oh, so close. Kristin with a little bit more of a wide open look.
Oh boy. I feel like every time Henna does something amazing, Kristin just casually like keeps that door shut on letting her catch up.
Just makes like a circle's edge putt in the wind.
Still a great birdie. Still a 4-stroke difference.
Henna opens it again. Kristin just
closes it right back down. Listen to Ohn cheering on her competitors. Hole 15, one of the tightest and most wooded holes out here. It's 321 feet. I think the best way to get there is a forehand, but it's risky. You need to push really straight before fading off to the right. Honestly, just a pure straight shot with a slower speed disc is pretty smart, though you're not really going to get there for a putt. You see a lot of people try to throw like a hyzer flip, you know, turnover backhand shot trying to get there, but you see so many kicks into so many bad places on this hole.
Yeah, I don't know which side is worse, early right or early left. They're both brutal.
They're both awful. How did she get through all of that?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was a pretty good shot, but it was definitely a little on that right side.
But she just almost aced it. And
Wow.
Getting a disc near the basket from here is impressive.
That's why I think it's the sidearm, but it's just really, really hard. You see a lot more of these kinds of shots.
So good too.
Which is also unbelievable.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it says that 6 people got inside the circle out of the 20 competitors today, and I find that insane.
Is Missy going to do it too? She's in circle 2. Wow.
It just is mind-blowing.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
You're making it look easy.
Absolutely dialed in. You have to full send this gap.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. They're all going to do it.
No way.
Ohn's going to friggin' park it.
No way.
That has to be 4 of the best drives.
Yeah, she's the only person to park this hole.
Wow. Missy for a long birdie look. Right side. Man, a star birdie frame on this would be nuts.
That's unheard of. Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Oh, that looked great from Henna. It's like the top nubs. Kristin for a birdie. And
why not keep getting them? Why not keep getting
like
them?
A stopper in the door, yeah. So Henna can't really even crack it open anymore.
It's not. It's pretty much locked. It's not quite locked.
I mean,
hole 18's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Hole 17 can be crazy too.
That's really good from Ohn to get back to even par on the round and try to maintain that 3rd place position.
Hole 16, slightly uphill on the tee shot. It's a very narrow tee shot. You usually throw a mid-range or maybe a slow-speed fairway to get right before this little out-of-bounds creek that cuts through the middle. Your second shot is about 375 to the basket. You have to push that right side out of bounds, though, the whole way if you want to get all the way there. The left side, no out of bounds, but it is very, very wooded and not somewhere you want to mess around with.
This one, if you don't do the drive right and you have to lay up before the OB, it's so hard to save your par. So the drive is so important. Kristin throwing a claymore here.
She finds a good spot. There's a lot of places on the high side of this fairway on the upper left side where there's roots, and it makes your second shot really hard to go big.
She's tight on the trees, though. It's not a perfect spot for sure.
Mm-hmm. If you land a little bit more on the low side of the fairway in the trees, it's a lot easier footing, less roots. That rock wall that plays out of bounds at Brewster Ridge is casual here. If you go over, it's okay. It's just pretty brutal to recover from.
Mm-hmm. Ohn going to be even more left side than Kristin on the stone wall. Henna with a... Wow, that was a really good shot to be a little bit punished there.
I'm surprised that spectators are right there.
Reaction, though.
Yeah, that's a little close.
They didn't hit it. Let's see if Missy can find the best spot on the fairway here. That looks beautiful.
Wow. What's that
ideal?
Disc?
That one.
I can't tell if it looks like a fairway driver, maybe.
Is a Big Z Mantis, which I want to say is I
think it's a slow speed fairway, like a 6 or 7 speed. But that's a super guess.
Ohn gets across the out of bounds. Oh no, where'd that go? Henna's out and still has quite a ways to go to even save her bogey.
A Mantis is an 8-speed disc.
Yeah, gotcha. I was right. Huh? Is that? I guess that's in.
Barely across.
Yeah, the OB kind of cuts sharply right there. Not a great shot, but I mean, Kristin does have quite a few strokes to play with here.
Missy with a really great landing spot.
And a great second shot.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a putt on this one feels so good. Henna throwing 4. That looks like her rock. Oh.
Oh no. Mm-mm. Even if that did not hit the wire, I don't think there was a chance it was coming back in bounds.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bit of a headwind here. It's almost like she threw a little bit of a flippier disc. I wonder what was going on in the decision making.
I mean, she has to play aggressive to try to get the win. She's got plenty of strokes on Ohn to give up too, so I respect the aggressive play. But wow, Kristin with strokes to play with still just plays so perfectly. Ohn's 3rd. Good shot. Henna just laying up, but with the out of bounds, that's gonna be, I don't know, I can't math right now.
Missy with a long birdie look.
Par's good.
She has some very supportive members in the gallery. I love to hear it. Great par from Ohn. Super solid way to play hole 16. Played as the 5th most difficult hole of the day.
Triple. Ouch. And that, I mean, honestly, Ohn could even catch her too with 2 holes to go now. Kristin's got this one locked down. Really pulling away this whole back 9. Great par. Hole 17, it's a downhill par 3. You really have to throw a huge right to left moving hyzer shot with the backhand. It's 321 feet. I feel like it almost plays longer. You really need to throw something with a ton of power that fades super, super hard. You see a lot of people push a little bit too far straight and then land somewhere around circle 2. It can be difficult to park this one, though these ladies have all the power to get there for sure. The elevated basket makes for some challenging putting as well.
Kristin went a lot higher on her tee shot on round 2. This one's a lot more low and linear and kind of pushing the out of bounds deep, but it checks up just before.
Look at the clouds back there, threatening rain.
Ohn with a flex line.
It's going too straight.
Yeah.
Needs to fade.
This is definitely not a hole for a flex. This is, you really just want a pure hyzer line.
Missy with that nice stable Zeus. Gives it some good height. You do want it to, you know, saw it off just a little bit more. But that's a good shot.
I believe Henna parked this one inside the circle in round 2. See if she can do it 2 times.
That's more the line. A little bit inside. Stay in bounds. Great shot. It's a star destroyer.
Looks like she'll be level with the basket, hopefully not making it look super elevated.
Kristin just laying up with the trusty harp. Easy. Ohn gotta be laying up as well. It's fine. It's a little short, but better short, I think, than long.
Missy just laying up 2.
Yeah.
This one's so scary to run.
Well, especially from behind the pin. It's steeper and just feels really awkward. Henna for a birdie.
Ooh, I love the bid. Perfect height, just a wee bit low. And a nice par save from Ohn.
Oh, it's a bogey with the OB.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the OB.
All right, 1 to go. Probably, if not the hardest, top 3 hardest holes on the course, though.
Always, it's all week has played as the most difficult hole. It plays as 1 full stroke over par, and that has a lot to do with this tee shot. Usually it's a headwind, so if you don't get something to hyzer as much, you can go out of bounds early and have to just re-tee from where your disc last crossed. If you try to go the opposite way, you can definitely find out of bounds to the left side, but I like that mistake better. You can go in the sneaker gap on the right-hand side, but it's very easy to catch a tree and kick out of bounds right. I like the big forehand around the left side. This basket's perched on a sloping green with out of bounds at the bottom of the hill. It's very easy to catch and roll into out of bounds. So lots of danger to be had on this entire hole. There is what looks to be a head to maybe right to left crosswind. Kristin plays it perfectly.
That looks great. Nope.
Wow, a lot of ground play.
I mean, it's still fine. She can take a bogey or a triple bogey, and it doesn't matter. As long as the trouble, like you said, is if you never come back in bounds, and you sometimes see like 11s and horrible scores from the tee shot.
It's all about finding that overstable disc that you trust and throwing it on a steep hyzer angle like we see Missy here. Nose down is a big bonus.
Yeah, that's great.
Take some distance off. I like that play.
Wow, this is going to be Kristin's 4th major / elite series event in a row. In Silver Series. Yeah. Wow.
That she's won?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
We haven't seen a streak that dominant in a long time. She said, let's go Ohn as soon as she
I know. I know. That's why I will always be Ohn's biggest fan.
Right out of her hand.
My favorite is when she does it before making like a big putt.
Yeah.
Missy looks lining up the right side. I refuse to use the word sneaker gap while being serious. That's great.
And she sneaks it right through. That is such a scary gap, but it is, Erika talked about it in round 2, a little bit more scary to throw that anhyzer shot because it's very easy to flex out and find out about.
Yeah, without a huge power sidearm, this just feels scary.
Yeah, and this just makes sense. Oh, a lot of ground play again.
They like it. It's in bounds. And she can just lay up for bogey, no problem.
The grass is so thick, it's impressive. She must be putting a ton of spin on it.
So Henna gonna show us the anhyzer look. She has that little forced anhyzer shot. A little short.
Yeah, take some distance off. She doesn't need to play aggressive here. She wants to play smart.
Yeah, kind of a bummer not to see a little bit of a stronger run from Henna coming into this round tied, but second place at Worlds, second place here, pretty strong showing. Oh, Ohn a little too strong. She's out. She's in? No. No, she's out. Missy running it? I guess why not? No, it's a layup. Okay.
A really well executed layup.
I do think Valerie Manduhana was making a huge push for 4th place, though I think she finished with a double bogey, so Missy's pretty safely in 4th. If I remember correctly, we'll check the leaderboard later. Kristin just gonna lay up here.
Yeah, that's a stiff little headwind.
Yeah.
And why?
Gotta be running this. For a par comebacker.
Oh, yeah. Lots of chains. And a nice way to finish for Missy with par on the hardest hole on the course.
Yeah, Missy finding 3 birdies today, ending up 4 over on the round, just never quite getting it going. Ohn finishing +2 on the round.
Henna with a great second place finish.
Kristin Tattar winning again. Can she be beat?
And I mean, these are on the World's courses too. Is this like a
foreshadowing for next year?
Predictions?
It's looking pretty good, that's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present your 2022 champion of Discraft's Green Mountain Championship at Smuggler's Notch Resort in the first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour playoff event, Kristin Tattar.
standing here with Kristin Tattar, your Green Mountain champion 2022. Kristin, how does it feel?
Thank you. It feels amazing. Brings me almost back to Worlds. It's the same feeling. I mean, all the competitors are the same. They're the best in the world, and to be able to win here, it means a lot to me.
Hey, and I just want to touch on your competition. You realize you're playing against all of the best players in the world, and you're coming out on top in dominating fashion. What does that feel like?
It feels great. I don't know what to say. I'm actually living my dream right now. This is what I've been dreaming of, and it's here, and I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it. It's amazing.
Well, let's have a thinking question really quickly. Starting the day off, you know, where you guys were, such a close race, and then so many conversions in the first couple of holes. Was there ever a moment that you felt like you could let up, or was it shot for shot the entire time?
It was pretty intense. I was just a little bit frustrated because my approach shots were kind of bad. I kept giving myself good spots off the tee, and then not making good on the approach, leaving it to circle 2, and today was not my good putting day. So it was a little bit frustrating, but when it was the most important moment, when things got really tight, then I guess I found some strength in me to make the putts, and when it mattered the most.
Yeah, because you did definitely find that typical putting stride that we've seen Kristin finish with. Any final words about those putts that went in, or just about the way those last couple of holes felt?
Yeah, it just felt that this is, I can only change things right now. I cannot like live in the future or in the past. I just have to be in this moment, and I have an opportunity to, I don't know, take the lead or extend the lead, and I just didn't think about it after that. I was just making the putts as I normally do during practice, and it was okay.
Kristin, congratulations. We're looking forward to seeing you at the MVP Championships next weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really loved that interview. I thought that was great.
It was great.
Yeah, it's nice to hear players really like living their dream and in the moment at the same time. Like, it just makes me really happy for Kristin to see this all play out the way it has. Everyone on the back nine keeping it pretty clean, pretty dialed in. Henna has the one blemish, but another couple birdies and no more bogeys.
Kristin especially really, I don't want to say turning it around, because she still like had a decent front nine, but yeah, stepping on the gas for sure to finish strong.
Yeah, and you can tell she's doing what she loves out here. It almost just looks easy to continue playing super consistent and super strong. Congrats to Missy too for holding on to that 4th place finish after a rough start. Ohn as well, battling back after a rough hole. We hope you guys enjoyed the FPO coverage. It's the strongest field we have ever seen in the history of FPO right now, and it's only getting more difficult to compete. We hope you guys are enjoying watching like we are. Thanks again to GK Pro for the FPO footage, and to the VIP members. You guys are the best. We'll see you guys next week at the 2nd Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship qualifier at Maple Hill. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese. And real quick, big thanks to Statmando for all the really cool disc golf statistics.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
See you on the next one.
Honk.